What's up guys, Steve here. Today we have a $5,000 English Pokemon card collection. Not just any English cards, the old original basic cards. Okay, this folder's quite old as well. I think it's fallen apart. But let's get into this. Pretty excited. We haven't had English cards in a very long time. I'm going to go through this, show you what to look for if you're buying a collection like this. And we're just going to have some fun. Thanks for watching. This is a pretty chonked up English binder collection. As far as I'm aware, there is base set, jungle, fossil, and all the way at the back, there is a Team Rocket set. So we're going to go through everything today. I'm going to show you what to look for when you're kind of buying these older Pokemon card collections. And I haven't really done much English stuff lately, but it's still in here somewhere. You know, this head full of hair loss is got a little bit of knowledge about some errors to look out for in some of these older sets. Maybe some damage that you might not look for, and just things that might look too good to be true when you're trying to buy these kind of old cards. So this is kind of like a tutorial video, but at the same time, let's show off this pretty cool collection. So origin of the collection, I had a buddy, you know, he needed some money, had an old Pokemon card collection, and he reached out to me, and I was like, okay, let me have a look. And he showed me, and I was like, damn, this is actually some pretty good stuff. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but if we look at these sleeves, they're packed. You know, no, I wouldn't say packed, I guess, but you know, there's 3 hollows in some sleeve, and some of these jungles have no symbol hollows. Now, if you're new to Pokemon, you're not sure what no symbol is. No, doesn't have a symbol. So this has a symbol, this doesn't have a symbol, and it's basically just a little error they had earlier in the print run for unlimited jungle hollows. As far as I'm aware, they're about 2 to 3 times more expensive than the average jungle hollow. There's nothing too crazy, but it's better than a normal one, right? And then move on to the fossil, all the way to the Team Rocket. I will admit this will be maybe 2 or 3 months since I've recorded the video. I might be a little bit rusty in my talking or something like that. So that's just how it is. But without further ado, let's start it off with the first page. So first thing you want to look for, if you're buying an old collection like this, he has every single card packed into this absolutely massive binder. Now, as a child, as kids, this is flippin' sweet. This does look cool to have every card. Unfortunately, it comes with some drawbacks. Every card that's like next to these rings, let me move this over. These rings here can cause damage on the corners of basically on the edges of every card on the left-hand side of the binder. As you move, this bending, they can kind of like press inwards, as you can see there. And it's pretty unfortunate. And I did inspect this a little bit beforehand, and some of them do have it. So let's just start unsleeving all the holographic cards, and let's just have a look. I mean, just look at some conditions. This doesn't look too bad. I paid 5,000 Australian dollars for these. If I was buying this off eBay, if I was buying it off someone else, I would have probably looked to pay maybe a little bit closer to like 3,500 to 4,000 Australian. It doesn't sound like, well, Steve, why'd you pay 5,000? He's a friend. I know I'd be able to get my money back, and Christmas is coming up. This stuff will sell like hotcakes. It's really not that big of a deal and much skin off my back. Maybe takes a few hours of time to take it all apart, price it all up. I help a friend. I'll probably make my money back, maybe make $1,000 after like 2 months. And then that's it. So that's explaining why I did something. This is not some sort of good Samaritan thing, or I'm trying to get good karma, but I guess I'm trying to leverage my position as a Pokemon card seller, and I've been really blessed over the years, so it's the least I could do for some people, right? So we're looking at the base set Blastoise here. Now, there is an error on these cards that can happen. This stage, I guess, where that word stage, it won't say the word stage. So that's one error to look for in a base set, complete set when you have Blastoise. There is also another Blastoise error called the red dot Blastoise. Personally, I've never seen one, but somewhere around here there's like a red dot, and people pay extra for that. So these things are important because errors can make up a lot of money in a collection that you normally wouldn't see. So we've got 2 base set Blastoises. These things aren't in too bad condition, but unfortunately, a lot what can happen sometimes. You know, this is more of an Australian like specific thing, but in some places in America too. So Chansey, I don't know of any Chansey errors, to be honest. I don't think there is. If there's any errors that I missed, feel free to leave them in the comments. None of these cards are sleeved, as you can see on this side here. Let me just put these bad boys up here. None of these cards are sleeved. And what can happen is, even when they are sleeved, dust can come in through the top of the sleeve, settle on the cards, and then humidity and dust combined can basically make like this little dirt. Sometimes you get cards that have like stuff on them and it feels like there's something stuck to the card, but you know, nothing stuck to the card. No one put it in dirt, but you know, the humidity combined with dust over time can have stuff stuck to the cards. And a lot of these cards do have that. It's just kind of hard to show it on camera, I guess. So we've got the Clefairy here. I'm not too sure of any crazy Clefairy errors. Obviously, there are different base set variants to look out for. You got Shadowless, you got First Edition, you got 1999 to 2000 fourth print base set. I looked through beforehand. I did not see any of it, but you know, it's just how it is. I mean, all these cards are in pretty much light played condition. Nothing really to look out for. Pretty good. I'm happy. This is like a collector condition. You know, an ungraded binder collector condition set. That's pretty good. And as usual, funnily enough, the Charizard is always in the worst shape. I don't know what happens, but a lot of the times on the Charizard, this doesn't seem to have it. You want to be looking around about this side of the card, depending on how they have their binder set up. But, you know, just in this area, pretty much right where that binder is, it'll have an indent. And it's happened about 100 times for me, and it'll probably happen 100 times more. So that's just how it is. Some of these Hitmonchans have one. You can see it down the bottom here, just above that fighting energy. See if I can get into a better light for you. No, it's the best I can do. But yeah, just across that, just runs an indent. See it on the back easier as well. Yeah, right there, pressed in from the binder. You have to look out for it because, you know, if this was a first edition base set, this Hitmonchan would be several $100s. And a light played versus a damage card of a first edition base set is a big deal. Now, these Machamps, there's no difference for Machamps for Unlimited. Unfortunately, every single one of them is first edition, comes in a starter deck. You cannot get it out of packs. I think that's pretty common knowledge. These Magnetons, I don't know. I was going to say something funny, but I don't have a joke. Oh, I missed you guys. I mean, I guess I miss just making videos in general. Hopefully I can come out with a few more good ones. If you see, can you see behind me? No, not really. There's about 2,000 PSA cards back there. So it's something to look out for. Yeah, another binder down here on this Raichu. Pretty common on Raichu. Pretty much anything in the 13 slot, the 4 slot. A lot of the times the top 2 don't get binder indented, but it's just happened to happen this way. Pretty clean Venusaur. I mean, well, I'll do a condition checking video as well. Hopefully I'll do that tomorrow just to, and really up close and personal one will have a black background. Just so I can be like, okay, this is what I think, you know, a 7 or 8 would be. Let me just show off another one of these binder dents on this bottom left card. Just pulls up right there. It's the most common damage in the book, I can imagine. Not this book, but just in a book, a theoretical damage book. Don't even know what the hell that means. This Ninetales feels weird compared to the other ones. It's got like a layer of something on it. But yeah, oh, he had this Mewtwo. Let me have a look at this. You know, he pulled this Mewtwo out. He's like, I always liked this Mewtwo because one was like blue and the other ones were purple. So let me show you. Can I show this? Yeah, you can see it. One's purple and one's like blue. So I don't know if that is a variant or, you know, just different inks or whatever, but that seems to be a little bit more than just different ink to me, to be honest. The next error we're going to look for is on this Beedrill. A lot of these errors are very, very hard to find. And some of them are just from like theme deck exclusive only errors and some of the other things. But in this defending spot, it'll be D full stop E-fending. So it'll be like D dot E-fending. Defending with a dot in the middle. So I'm going to put these non-hollows back in there. Don't really want to look for those. What other errors are there? Trying to think. Wartortle has one, so we'll look through these. I bought one collection a long time ago. It had 2 Wartortle errors. And what the Wartortle error would be is there is a Wartortle in the stage box instead of a Squirtle. And you know, they go for a pretty penny. A lot more than a normal Wartortle, as far as I'm aware. The Diglett can have an error where this fighting energy to the left here will be upside down. But, you know, a lot of them depending on where you are. Like in Australia, all the collections I bought within Australia haven't really had these errors. I feel like we got cards a lot later and they might have fixed a bunch of the errors. That's just how it is. Pikachu doesn't have any errors as far as I'm aware. And I think there might be one or two other ones, but I'm just not really knowledgeable with those. And we'll go to the jungle cards. Now, as we get down the generations, the conditions seem to get better. That's pretty good for me, I guess. As usual, not as usual. This isn't as usual, but none of these cards will be for sale online. I plan on selling them in my physical store that I have a deal with. So they'll be in there. So that's pretty good. I'm not trying to shill or anything or advertise myself, even though I'm probably within my right. Nice Flareons. So we got a Jolteon here, no symbol. About light played. Oh, we got another nose. Oh no, two normal Jolteons. Okay. So I thought they were all no symbol for some reason, but that's pretty neat. That's like a PSA 7, maybe. That's pretty good. Honestly, if this was an 8 graded already, I wouldn't even complain. Holo cards are hard to get, man, in like near mint condition these days. So we got a Kangaskhan. Oh man, this takes me back. Mr. Mime. So they must have opened a box, because there's a lot of no symbol holos here, and usually they're localized to one box. So one box will be filled with no symbol jungle holos. So if someone has a big collection and they put it together by opening packs, they'll probably have 3 no symbol pincers. Oh, they're all damaged, but that's crazy. They'll probably have a lot more. So there's 12 holos in a box. They probably opened a whole box. I think we've got to 12 so far. 3 Scythers. He seemed to think some of them were special because they're all put at the front. So 4 Snorlaxes. This last one is clean. But yeah, as clean as an old card could get. Let me show a little bit. Ooh, my fingernails are horrible for these videos. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many scratches and stuff you always have to look for. A lot of the times, little vertical scratches, it can come down, especially on the white cards. You just have to study the cards. I know not a lot of the times we don't get to buy cards in person. It doesn't matter whether you're a reseller or you're a collector or anything. Everyone pretty much has to buy their cards online. And you just have to kind of go with your gut. But a lot of the times, if the holo does look clean, it's probably just the light that's bad. Like I could take a photo from all the way down here, card looks perfect. And then you go up close in person, in real life, you realize it's got scratches all over it, even though, the back is relatively clean. There's not much edge wear. This is still probably, maybe a 7 to 8. Not a bad condition. It's not bad at all. But things that might look perfect aren't perfect after all. So we've got a Victory Bell, no symbol. Pretty sick. Vileplume. Vaporeon. I think I might keep one of these. Vaporeon is definitely my favorite card. Well, Jungle Vaporeon is like my favorite card. This is my first card ever. This started it all for me. I love the circles in the back. Pretty sick, to be honest. Man, I've seen so many of these in Japanese over the last few months. Or few years, I guess. Kind of just makes me... I just forgot how they look in English, right? They don't look... I wouldn't say better or worse in either. I think the Japanese holos can look better. But, man, when I first started buying and selling Pokemon 2015, this was all I did. That's all I did was this stuff, so... This really takes me back. So we got some fossil cards here. I'm going to pull out the Dragonite straight away. Everyone's favorite. So it's not a complete fossil set, but I think it makes up for it by having 3 Dragonites. It's like gold these days, having 3 Dragonites. I don't know if I missed any jungle errors. I don't even know if there are jungle errors. This Haunter has a variant where it has like a blue smudge on the holo around about where my finger is. And you just got to look for that. It's called the Stain Haunter. Wow, Steve, great advice. And then right here you can see there's a little like a pinhole dent at the top. That's one thing you really got to look for when you check it on your cards. So that's a good one to show off. Where is that on the back? Where is it on the front? It's at the top there. Can't even see it on the back. It's just going through. That's crazy. But yeah, you can see that clear as day coming out the front. That's just someone denting the card at the back. And yeah, I can feel that. Very sad, but if PSA sees that, they're going to be like 6, 7. So maybe someone sells this card. It looks relatively near mint to mint. And then you get it in person. And you just sleeve it and chuck it in your binder. Then eventually you were like, I'm going to grade my Haunter. And then you get a 6. and then you see there's a dent, and you're gonna be like, PSA damaged, but it was just there the whole time. It's unfortunate. Well, that's a first edition Hitmonlee. Got 2 fossil dittos, so it looks like they opened less fossil cards than the other sets. They do have 3 Aerodactyls. It's pretty good. They have a first edition Hitmonlee. What was that? Oh, I think Jungle has the Pinsir error. So the Pinsir, let me see if I can find Pinsir. I'm horrible at this. Pinsir. So I think it might only be in first edition Pinsirs, but where the stamp is, there's like a scratch that goes through the first edition stamp, and it's like the Pinsir scratch error. Hitmonlee has an error also in Fossil where like this like brown stuff's coming down the middle. They call it the cigar error. Look out for that too. That one's really rare, but if you do find that, hey, you're in for a pretty penny. The error collecting scene, honestly, a lot of my best purchases earlier on were a lot of my lucky ones, obviously, but I was like, I got lots of errors. You know, back in the day, I would buy a lot of cards from Troll and Toad, and they wouldn't really filter out errors as they weren't that popular or popularized yet. And I would buy base set Blastoises for like $4, $5, $6 each in played condition, 2015, 2014, 2016. And I once ordered like 20, and I got 2 no stage Blastoises in one order. And I sold them for like $150 each. And I can't explain. Going from 5 to like $150 back then was like, holy crap. That was like a half a week's of my wage of like profit in like one card. So yeah, awesome looking Zapdos. So this is the Zapdos from the set. I'm fairly certain, as there's a theme deck Zapdos that you can get. And it's like the evolution box isn't hollow, but on this one, the whole card is hollow and it looks great. So this is a set Zapdos. Feel free to correct me on this, but this is a set Zapdos, but in the theme deck Zapdos, you got a little bit of a hollow box thing with no hollow in it. They kind of messed up on that one. So what else am I looking for? Oh, yep. Another variant of Fossil. Just came to mind. I made a lot of money on this variant because it was like an Australian/UK kind of exclusive one. The copyright for 1999 to 2000 Fossil cards, I think, is the red logo Fossil set with the red logo Fossil on the boxes and the theme decks and all this other crap. I can't remember if it's the theme deck, but if you see those, the cardstock is also different. It's more glossy. It's more like Legendary Collection like cardstock, not like a Fossil normal cardstock. So if you ever do come across 1999 to 2000 Fossil, there's 1 or 2 cards that aren't rare. Like I think there's a Raichu non-holo that's always like that. And there's like a few other from a theme deck that are like pretty much guaranteed. But the rest of the set is very rare and quite sought after. So a little bit of knowledge bomb while I still have it in my brain. Some first edition uncommon. So he looks like he opened like maybe 1 or 2 packs of a first edition Fossil. Now this is the good stuff. This was pretty much almost half the purchase price. The first edition Team Rocket set. Unfortunately, it could have been a lot more, but you know the cards are unsleeved. They said they didn't open these. He said he bought this set with his dad back in the day. He didn't tell me how much he bought it for, which would have been nice, but holding this Dark Charizard, I honestly feel powerful. I don't even know what that means. But let's have a look. Things to look out for when you're buying or looking at buying one of these online. There is a print line, so you can see pretty much clear as day that print line go across. How do I talk? Go across the top there. But the big killer on this, and I don't know why they put all the Charizards in the sets in the 4 slot, is there is a binder dent right there. Very sad. You know, I've been lucky with having no binder dents on a lot of cards in my life. But that one, unfortunately not. So that condition is like maybe a 6 or a 7. Just because of a it is what it is kind of type binder dent. We have the Here Comes Team Rocket holo as well. Dark Dragonite. This card is in really good condition. Wow, I might even grade this card. Might even just throw this in my next bulk submission. Yeah, I think I won't actually. Honestly, this card would probably just get a PSA 8. You'd probably get a PSA 9, to be honest. It is pretty good. I don't know if you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I love Larry David. He's so good. I like to think of myself as like a Larry David. But apart from this top right corner, you know, I might just sell this for a pretty penny and let someone enjoy like a mint card. And if they grade a 9, good on them. If they grade a 10, I'm even more happy for them. I'm going to put that over here. I'm not going to put it with the stack because that's very good condition. This one's in way worse condition. And it's the Wheezing. Get out of here, Wheezing. Let's have a look at the Blasty Boy. I'm pretty happy with this binder collection. Obviously, this wasn't something that I really set out to be like, I'm going to buy this and make a lot of money, as I've been, you know, very well blessed with Pokemon, especially the past few years. So whenever I can buy collections from friends and they want to get out of it, they want to move on with their lives, I can offer my services. Look at that holo. I mean, that is good. First edition Dark Blastoise. That looks sick. Look at that. That is actually sick. Very happy with that Blastoise. Dark Machamp. Condition pretty similar. But, you know, these sets, like a first edition non-holo Dark Magneton, one of the hardest cards to grade. That one has scratches all over it. These sets, even like non-holo Dark Blastoise, non-holo Dark Charizard, non-holo Dark Dragonite, these are expensive cards. They are not cheap. So I will sleeve these as soon as this video is over, by the way. You know, it's not, this isn't it. I'm not just going to leave them unsleeved. It's like every holo I'll be sleeving. I'll just do it off camera. It does take a while. We've got the Dark Hypno. I wish this card was like lighter, because the holo in the background of this is so nice. And like, you can see all these different eye shapes. He's doing hypnosis and whatever he's doing. Hey, Pokemon's into some weird stuff. I don't know if you guys see the Pokemon leaks, but I don't know what's going on there. I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest. Well, we can talk about it if you want, but I don't want to talk about it right now. Got the Dark Gyarados. This is a fan favorite. That's not first edition. That's pretty bad. That's not a very good first edition set with a non-first edition card. But that's fine. Not a big deal. Is this Holo Bleed? No, it's not. So recycling, no, Rainbow Energy, unlimited. That's a very cheap holographic card. Rocket is very top heavy. Yeah, this card has a binder dent on it as well. Unfortunately, Dark Golbat. Oh, last but not least, what are these two? Oh, I'm just throwing cards. I'm horrible at this. Dark Dugtrio and Dark Vileplume. So all these cards are probably light played. Some of them are worse. Like, if you can see here, just there's a little bit of gunk on the back. I mean, it's just, that's what you got to look out for. Dust can settle in. It's very unfortunate. Dark Dragonite. If you ever get a Dark Dragonite and it's a non-holo and it has a 5 at the bottom, these ones have 22, 22, 22. If yours have a 5 at the bottom, that's a big deal. You're in for a payday. That's an exceptionally rare error and probably one of the most desired errors. Non-holo errors, at least. So it just got messed up when they did the translations and they were making the sets. They accidentally put the holo number instead of the non-holo number. They printed a few of them. They're very rare. They're very desired. So I'm going to put these back. Other than that, what else we got here? Oh! Don't mind if I do. Dark Raichu. Okay. I forgot about that. First edition Dark Raichu. I don't know the values of a lot of these cards. I looked up complete sets prices when I bought this. And then I kind of just like asked a few friends, then averaged down, and I just hoped it would work out. Wow, that is clean. People are going to be very happy with those. Whoever that ends up with, I really hope they're happy. We got some Ancient Mews. Yeah, they're all kind of destroyed. But I'll pull them out anyway. So, guess that's it, right? I mean, damn. A few other cool things that came in this collection. Let me just move these holo cards out of the way. God, that's horrible just shuffling all those together. I honestly feel blasphemous. Like this Dark Charizard first edition non-holo, if you graded this, I've sold many before. Maybe like 5 or 6 in timelines. But I'm sure this is above $100 at least in a 10. It might even be like 300, 400. Just first edition non-holo Dark Charizard. Like when you're looking at stuff, you're looking at values, and even if you're a collector, if you can find it as a single in like mint condition, I mean, you might be able to grade it, eventually sell it, buy a near mint one, sell the gem mint one, or the mint one, and then just buy some more cards for your binder rather than, because, you know, a lot of people don't realize that even if you're just a normal collector, you're not a reseller, whatever, you can leverage your expertise in finding cards and your expertise in finding good condition cards, and then you can just grade a few, sell them, buy the same ones in a little bit less condition, and make a bit of money and have some fun. I'm gonna look at the Charmanders. How good is our artwork? No difference with any of these, unfortunately. Just normal base set Charmanders. So this collection came with a bunch of other cards, a bunch of other little cool things. I'll show them off. What do we got here? I mean, this is just the bulk of it all. What is this? I think this is literally just, yeah, this is just his bulk. It'll probably all fall out of the sleeves the moment I touch anything, but this is just what happens. This is what we used to do. Look at all this Jungle Eevee. That's pretty cool. Wow. Would have been nice to have them all sleeved and packed fresh, but this is why pack fresh and gem mint cards are so expensive, because no one did that. We stacked them in this. Another pretty neat thing here. I'm not sure. Do you guys have this in America? Pokemon Stadium Action 3Ds Collector Record. They're like these little lenticular type things where shining in different light, you get different things. We got what? Ivysaur, Venusaur, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. And there's just every Pokemon. They're all different things. If you're interested in these, I can send you some photos. I don't know if people... I think this was something to do with some chip packet here in Australia. It might have been an Australian exclusive, but it probably wasn't, right? But I haven't really seen these overseas. This folder's like $100 these days. Nothing too crazy, but, you know, Psyduck, Golduck, Primeape. Well, Primeape doesn't evolve. It's just literally Primeape. No Mankey. He just gets bigger. What are we doing here? But yeah. Some other neat, cool things come with this collection, like some old Pogs, I think, or Tarzos. I'm not really too sure, but, you know, we got Mewtwo. He's spinning around. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoyed a little bit of my old expertise on some old, you know, vintage Pokemon cards. And yeah, my name's Steve. I'm going to enjoy going through these a little bit more. And then I'm going to head to bed. You should head to bed too. Or if you're just getting up, enjoy your day. And hopefully some more videos in the future. If you ever have any questions about old Pokemon cards, I know I'm a little bit washed. And I do with Japanese cards most of the time. But I got a little bit of knowledge up here. So have a great night, guys. Or a great day. And thank you for watching.